welcome. Today is September 17th, 2019. We're beginning our 6 p.m. meeting. We will start with the pledge, if we could stand. Chief, you want to lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So tonight we have our regular meeting and our CDA meeting, but we are going to start turning it over to you, Jim, for the invocation.
Yes, we start off our meetings as much as we can with someone from our faith community, and we're very pleased to have with us the Reverend Janet Wright, an interfaith minister, who is also a member right here of Old Steeple Community Church. So, thank you, Reverend Wright.
Thank you, and is this okay?
That's
For this opportunity to pray us into this meeting. Please join me in prayer. O Holy One of many names, Spirit of peace and justice, we rest in the knowledge that you are here among us in our community this evening. We pray for your presence in the institutions of our town. We ask that you guide our leaders and lawmakers in our local government and in our schools and in our businesses. We are grateful for the work that is overseen by our supervisor and town board. Tonight, as we see new police officers sworn into service, we are thankful that our town and our people will be safely guarded. We appreciate that our town also seeks to protect feral animals through partnerships with the North Fork Animal Welfare League. We, as citizens of this town of Riverhead, must also be aware of injustices and biases that threaten to rip the fabric of our community. It is our responsibility to support our leadership when they reflect the values and concerns of our neighborhoods. It is also important to question repression, misdeeds, or corruption when we see it or experience it. And so this evening we pray that we might become more filled with gratitude for each other and for the work of our leadership. May it be an atmosphere of kindness in this meeting as it proceeds. May it be so. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. At this time, it's very exciting to have the chief come up, as well as we're swearing in some new police officers today. So if I could ask you all to come up. Yeah, I think we should.
Always have to get the swear out of it. You look fine.
All set. You know the drill. I'll hear your question. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New York, and to faithfully discharge the duties of a Riverhead Town police officer to the best of your abilities, so help you God?
I do. That's it.
So we welcome, yes, Officer Vasey is right here on my left, your right, I guess.
Much better looking than this phone.
Next is Officer Oswald, Officer Anderson, and Officer Clark. So Officer Anderson and Clark went to start the academy last week. Officer Vasey and Officer Oswald are already certified as police officers, so they started field training last week also.
Nice. Congratulations.
Sure.
Congratulations, so we'll have you guys come over, we'll take a picture. Push it in between, how's that? Good. I think if you all stand sideways, you're good. Yeah.
You guys are going that way, I guess.
So tall.
Are we really going
He's
now?
got the scrambled eggs.
Wait, I guess I'm on the end.
I don't have my busted crab t-shirt on.
I'm going on that end.
You look like they see you, they can't see you. You can't see them, but they can't see you.
So we get to do that.
figure out which way you're looking at.
Yeah. We might as well.
Congratulations, guys, welcome aboard. Thank
You're
you.
on the street, remember this
Thank you,
space.
welcome aboard. Hi.
Remember this space.
Thank you.
Jimmy Woo, forget this space. See a crowd big all around me.
Best of luck to you guys.
Oh, no. You messed me up. I've ordered a couple times. I can't remember.
I know.
I remember being that young.
All right, at this time, we will move on to the CDA meeting. So can I have a first and second to close the town board meeting and to open up the Community Development Agency special meeting?
Make a motion to close the town board meeting and open up the special CDA meeting.
I'll second the motion.
All right, moved in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so carried. So can I get a first and second for the approval of the regular meeting, September 4th, 2019, 2 PM minutes?
Motion?
Okay, first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. And we have one resolution on the CDA. At this time, I would ask it, oh, Dawn, you're here. Oh, sorry.
Comments on resolution?
Yes, yeah. At this time, I ask anybody who has any comments on the resolutions for the CDA to come forward. Seeing nobody, we'll move on to resolutions.
CDA Resolution 12 of 2019 authorizes extension of license agreement with East End Disability Associates, Inc. for property located at River Road, Calverton, and known as the Henry Pfeiffer Community Center.
So move.
Second?
Kent?
So, moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
Okay. And once again, I'll open it to the public. If anybody has any comments for the board for the CDA? Seeing nobody, I will close the CDA meeting and open up the town board meeting.
So moved.
Okay. Moved in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. So Diane, I will now turn it over to you. Oh, I'll read for the approval of the minutes, right? Can I get a first and second for approval of the minutes for the regular town board meeting on September 4th, 2019 at 2 PM?
I make a motion to accept the minutes for September 4th, so moved.
Seconded?
Okay, moved and seconded, moved and third. Vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
The minutes are approved. And now we'll go into correspondence. Under correspondence, we had a letter from Barbara Reynolds. That was a letter of thanks to the Traffic Safety Committee for issues at the intersection of Forest Avenue and Route 58. John McAuliffe sent 2 letters concerning the Epcal property. Aaron Ross sent a letter of concern with tobacco and nicotine vaping products. Gary Ristow sent a letter of concern regarding dumping residential yard waste at the Youngs Avenue site. And I did get another letter late in the day, and that was from Sharon Dunnigan, and she had concerns with regard to solar land clearing. And then under reports, tax receiver utility collection report for August was $743,034.88. The IDA and Riverhead IDA Economic Job Development Corporation sent in their 2020 proposed budgets, and that's all I have.
Okay. All right, at this time, I'm just gonna do announcements, and then we'll move on to public hearings. So the announcements for today is Art in the Park returns once again to Grangeville Park for the final time this year on Saturday, September 28th. For more information, you can go to www.artintheparkreflections.com, or just come down on Saturday night, right after the sun sets, and, it's a beautiful, art exhibit there if you haven't seen it yet. We will also be doing a cleanup of the Riverhead train station on Saturday, September 28th at 8:30 p.m. Come and volunteer with your neighbors as we are building on the progress made during our previous fall cleanups. You can bring your shovels, gloves to help plant and beautify the train station. All are welcome, and any help is sincerely appreciated there. 8:30 a.m., yes. Did I say p.m.?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh,
You can
all right.
more 10:30 at night.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Also, some good news, the Eastern Regional Helicopter Council has agreed to a public forum on helicopter noise on October 1st at 6 p.m. here in Town Hall. The FAA has described the Eastern Regional Helicopter Council as being instrumental in determining flight paths of aircraft flying over the east end of Long Island. And if this is an issue that affects you, I encourage you to attend that. The location so far is for Town Hall here. If it does turn out that we will have more people coming than expected, we will change the venue, but as of right now, it will be at Town Hall here. The Anter Litter Committee will be holding a cleanup on October 19th at 9 a.m., starting at Town Hall. You can call 631-727-3200, extension 253, with any questions or suggestions for that. The Suffolk County Department of Civil Service will be holding an informational workshop on how to apply for civil service jobs on October 23rd at 6 p.m. and another session at 7:30 p.m. on the same evening, and this will take place at the Senior Center at 60 Shade Tree Lane in Aquabog. And just a reminder that in order for your letters and emails to be part of the public record for a town board meeting, they should be sent to the town clerk at townclerk@townofriverheadny.gov, or you can mail them to 200 Howell Avenue, Riverhead, New York, 11901.
Just about the litter pickup, Jim and I have been working on it with Jim's committee. Deborah Wetzel is doing an amazing job, but we have flyers, if anyone has a place that you could hang one of these flyers up. We're really looking for as many volunteers as possible. And also, just to piggyback on what Laura said about the forum to be held about helicopters on October 1st, I think it's really important for everybody that's affected to turn out and speak up. This is a great opportunity for us, so let's take it.
All right, at this time, if anybody else have any other announcements?
Just the country fair on the 13th, but, well, you know, that won't be.
Yeah, okay, all right, but you can tell people to get ready.
You ready? I've only been doing it for 44 years, so.
So we will now open our public hearings. The first one was to begin at 6:05. It is now 6:17. This public hearing is the continuation of September 4th, 2019 public hearing regarding the consideration of declaring the blighted property known as 849 through 853 West Main Street, Riverhead, New York. The previous public hearing on this same matter was on April 2nd, May 22nd, and July 2nd, 2019. I would like to adjourn this public hearing again for another 2 weeks till October 1st.
I think that's a good idea.
If there's no objections, that will be adjourned. Our next public hearing,
That would be 205, or whatever would be the first one's on for the, that meeting.
what was
I
that?
don't think we have any.
205, do we have anything on for
I
that
don't think we
meeting?
do, so 205.
205?
205, so it'll be
Okay.
October 1st at 2:05.
Okay, thank you.
They have to do that every year, yeah. The next public hearing we have is the continuation of the September 4th, 2019 public hearing regarding the consideration of declaring the blighted property known as 1501 through 1595 West Main Street, Riverhead. The previous public hearings on this same matter were, again, April 2nd, May 22nd, and July 2nd. At this time, I would like to close the public hearing and take no further action. There was a remediation plan that was put in place.
Very good.
Yeah, so at this time, we will now go on to the next public hearing that was supposed to begin at 6:05. Once again, it is 6:17:18. The consideration of a proposed amendment to chapter 225, environmental quality review. Bob, Jeff, do you wanna just come up and address this, what this is?
Good evening, Jefferson Murphy, Town Planning and Development Administrator. What you have before you this evening is a proposed amendment to Chapter 225, Environmental Quality Review of the Town Code, specifically Section 225-11B, item number 5. The code currently states that parking facilities or other facilities with an associated parking area with a total number of parking spaces, including both existing and proposed parking if 50 spaces or greater, is automatically deemed as a type 1 action pursuant to SECRA. What this means is if you have a small application, for example, the Sports Authority building, they're coming in to split that into 3 separate tenants, reduce the lighting to be code compliant, add 1 loading door to the back of the building, improve the landscaping and parking striping. Pursuant to this code, that makes it an automatic type 1 action because they already have existing 50 parking spaces on the property. The type 1 designation adds a tremendous amount of additional paperwork, time, and expense in both the applicant and also for staff. And for an application that small, where we're trying to encourage redevelopment of vacant store spaces, we believe that it's needless. This is typically a type 2 action under SECRA. There's no impact of the surrounding properties. It doesn't generate any additional traffic impact. There's no water quality impact, no wetland impacts. They're simply refreshing the site and making it better. So we believe that this can be considered as a type 2 action. So what we're proposing is to strike out, you already have the existing 50 spaces or more that you see in the shopping centers along Route 58. We're gonna take that out as a type 1 action and make this as a type 2 action.
But this is for any of the zones in the town?
That
It's
is
not
correct.
just 58?
I'm just using that as an
Yeah.
example.
Okay, all right, thank you. Is there anybody from the audience that would like to come up and comment on this public hearing? Seeing nobody, I will close the public hearing, but leave it open for written comment for 10 days. At this time, we'll call the last of the public hearings. We're supposed to begin at 6:10. It is now 6:20. The consideration of a proposed amendment to Chapter 301, Article 52, Commercial Solar Energy Production Facilities. At this time, some information was brought to our attention, so we are going to open the meeting and close it, and take no action. There is a corrective error that needs to be renoticed to involved agencies. So we are not, like I said, we're gonna close this and not take any action. I know there were some people here to comment on that. We will have the ability to comment when we do comments for resolutions, if you would like to speak on this before we move forward. All right, so that's it, right, for public hearings? So at this time, we will move on to resolutions, so anybody that would like to comment on any of the resolutions, or if you would like to comment, though it will not be part of the public record for the public hearing, but you may comment on the solar.
Good evening, Teresa McCaskey with the South Hill Town Helicopter Advisory Committee. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today.
Is it okay with the board to take this out of order? Are you
Sure.
okay
Yes,
with that?
yeah, that's
Okay,
fine.
fine, go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. On behalf of South Hill Township, I would like to thank the board for taking the necessary measures to protect Riverhead Town's shorelines from amphibious aircraft. This proactive step will ensure a safer, less polluted, and quieter existence for Riverhead residents moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll do it together.
Anybody else that would like to come up and comment on any resolutions?
Thank you, Madam Supervisor, members of the board, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually commenting on the public hearing that you have rescheduled, but offered graciously the opportunity to address the board. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Barbara Blass. I live in Jamesport. While I enthusiastically supported the original amendment to the Commercial Solar Code, I am unable to support this version due to substantive issues and procedural concerns. Understanding that this is not the forum for a dialogue, I hereby submit some comments and questions for your consideration. By way of background, the first hearing on the amendment to the Solar Code was held in January of 2019, January 15th to be exact, and the text read as follows. Solar energy production facilities shall be permitted only on those lands previously cleared and/or disturbed on or before January 1st, 2019. No additional clearing shall be permitted. The removal of shrubs, underbrush, and trees under 3 inches in diameter shall be permitted and shall not be deemed clearing. A review of that public hearing, those minutes indicated public support, board support, and no opposition. No written comments opposing the amendment were received during the designated comment period, which ended in January 2019, January 25th to be exact. The amendment, however, was never put forward for a vote. Fast forward 8 months, and we're now hearing an amendment which bears little resemblance to the original. In the interim, in February, the town board received several letters in opposition to the original amendment, which were in part misleading and inflammatory and need to be addressed. One letter warned that the amendment was, quote, "a loud and clear message that the town of Riverhead is anti-business," threatens deals in contract and future solar deals that want to be at EPCAL, stating, quote, "I'm sure when 555 learns of this new development, they are likely to be irate." That is a particularly interesting statement. While solar utilities are permitted in the PD and the PIP zoning use districts within EPCAL, the property the town is in contract to sell to Calverton Aviation and Technologies is not regulated by this commercial code. I take issue with a myriad of statements in the letter from the attorneys representing S Power 2, which application is before the State Siding Board in an Article 10 proceeding. Their suggestion that the original amendment was, quote, "unreasonable and burdensome" is curious, and that the language mimics nearly exactly the language of the town of Brookhaven's regulations in this regard. Oh, was that the 3 minutes?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
And that board,
No,
I was gonna say, 'cause I have another page.
All right, talk fast.
No, that
No,
wasn't a
I'm kidding.
buzzer.
That amendment in Brookhaven, by the way, was unanimously adopted with basically the same language. Obviously, these regulations are not considered unreasonably burdensome in the town of Brookhaven. I will request again, as I did in my letter to the board dated January 22nd, 2019, in connection with the original amendment, that information as to how this legislation would affect the 64.2 acres of forested land described by S Power 2 in section 2.22, table 2, page 91 of their scoping document. And I have a copy of that if you'd like to see that. I'm using S Power 2 only as an example because they actually provided information as part of their application. One letter from an attorney representing another solar project did suggest a potential modification which warrants consideration. It reads in part, "The removal of shrubs, underbrush, and trees under 3 inches in diameter and the removal of cosmetic and formalized landscaping shall be permitted and shall not be deemed clearing." It is not clear at this point why that suggestion was inadequate. The focusing on the revised amendment, the first line reads that the solar energy facility shall be permitted on lands cleared previously or disturbed, and the date is different. It is January 1st, 2018. And I don't know if the original said 2019. I don't know if this is an error or if the date is being changed. While I didn't initially question this aspect, I do now wonder how and who would verify what was cleared and when clearing took place at any point in time. Does the town maintain some sort of tree inventory or aerial photographs or GIS data that would establish what trees existed at a point in time? Wouldn't it make more sense to pick a date going forward rather than list exemptions which are retroactively permitted? Is there a penalty if any clearing has taken place? And what is exactly meant by disturbed land? I'm almost done. The original amendment prohibited clearing of trees over 3 inches in diameter, but the new amendment is silent on this. Do we actually know how many trees of that size are potentially at risk across all the zoning use districts to which this amendment would apply? The new amendment includes language which allows for clearing up to 500 square feet of contiguous vegetation. What is the significance of 500 square feet? How many 500 square feet areas can be cleared on any one lot? None of these parameters has been justified nor sufficiently explained. I submitted a FOIL to the Planning Department to review its file for information relevant to these concerns. I did not make an appointment, but Mr. Murphy was kind enough to give me a few moments of his time, and he said he would look into the matters I raised and possibly offer some commentary today. He did share this, however, that he believes the current language is more restrictive than the original amendment. I respectfully disagree. Without going into detail, there were some errors, as you alluded to, and omissions in the secret file, which would necessitate the adjournment of this hearing until the file is corrected, and the board readopts the resolution seeking lead agency status, attach accurate part 1 of the EAF and circulate it to other potential involved agencies. In light of the foregoing, I respectfully suggest that you adjourn the public hearing, which you graciously did, and I thank you very much for your time and your patience.
Thank you.
Thank
you. If you wanna, do you wanna submit your comments?
Are we doing public statement? Not the people lining up?
No, I don't, unless they're addressing, right, unless, because there's a resolution for publishing for the helicopter and the seaplane. It's a resolution, Jim.
It's a resolution.
Yeah, I was,
Okay,
wrong.
good.
I was incorrect when I
Okay,
referenced
all right.
it.
What's that? Oh, well, yes, yes, yes. That's what I did read.
Hi, John Cullen, Northville. I just want to say I support the resolution 707 today, dealing with the seaplanes coming into our town. We've got enough seaplanes and helicopters going over us already. These things could be a danger to the kids swimming in the water or anybody in the water, as I've seen it before back in the 70s when they were more often landing in closer areas, and I think that's a good thing for the town of Riverhead. Thank you, and I also love this. Thank you, Catherine, and thank you, Bob, for putting that together.
Robert Skinner, 14 Eileen Circle, Jamesport, the same 707. Support that. I'm grateful for the efforts, and I applaud the town board's forward thinking with this to avoid any of the unforeseen circumstances as has developed for the lack of foresight by the FAA. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Seeing nobody else at the podium, we will move on to resolutions.
Resolution 687.
Scavenger Waste Sewer District Expense Budget Adjustment, so moved.
Somebody was ready.
I'm ready.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 688.
Sewer district expense budget adjustment, so moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 689.
55 Toomey Avenue lateral water extension project number 81958, so moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 690.
Authorizes the town clerk to publish and post a help wanted advertisement for automotive equipment operators. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 691.
For resolution 691, I've had a request from the highway superintendent to table this resolution. Can I get a first and second to table the resolution?
Make a motion to table resolution number 691.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
To table.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Sure. Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution,
I don't know why.
resolution has been tabled. Resolution 692.
Appoints a minibus driver to the seniors program, so
How
moved.
tall are they? Supposed to call this. How tall are they? The mini bus driver, how tall?
Having a bus driver to the minibus.
How about that?
So moved.
So
Nay.
moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes to the mini bus driver.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 693.
Appoints a call-in minibus driver, so moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
They call them on their mini phone. Yes.
Jen
Now you
Smith.
look at the giggles, yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 694.
Appoint appoints a call-in recreation specialist to the Recreation Department. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 695.
This amends a resolution 2019-655. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 696.
Accepts the retirement of a driver of a minibus.
There you go.
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 697.
Accepts resignation and appoints members to the Riverhead Business Advisory Committee. So moved.
There was just one name, if you could amend it to include Diane Burke as an appointed.
And I would
member.
like to amend that to include the name Diane Burke as the person that's being added to the Business Advisory.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded as amended, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes, as amended.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 698.
Attendance of 2 police department employees to the Marine Patrol Vessel Operator course. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 699.
This authorizes agreement with New York State acting through the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes,
Res-
this is the funding for the Click It or Ticket.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 700.
Approves New York State Department of Environmental Conservation access. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
As a conservative, I can't see inviting the government onto my property to evaluate threatened endangered species, so I will vote no.
Wooten.
There's no boundaries when it comes to nature. I vote yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 701.
Authorization for Highway Superintendent to execute extension of equipment rental agreement with Emerald Equipment Systems Incorporated. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 702.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute any and all documents for a bike share program in the town of Riverhead.
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Well, this is really very exciting. The county's giving us 6 racks of bikes, 25 bikes total. I think we're putting some downtown and one at EPCOW. And I think this is wonderful for Riverhead. I vote yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes, this is something that we've been working on for many years and had several meetings with several bicycle companies for docks or for the GPS bikes. And I'm happy when we asked the county to put out for an RFP countywide, rather than townships getting different companies, that the county did put it out for an RFP and that we're able to utilize this service. I think it's a great thing, and we're pushing for the Enterprise Park at Calverton, the new recreation trail, to be the first property that will get the bike docks. So, very exciting. Yes.
Wooten.
Yes, well, there's a news trial, you know, that Beth Page, Federal Credit
Yeah.
Union bumper
Yep.
on it.
Yeah.
You can't really steal it. Vote yes. Very nice.
Jen Smith.
I vote yes, and just so there's no cost to the town in being involved in this, and I think one of the other, Jonathan Keys is here also, I think, from the county, from the Suffolk County Department of Economic Development and Planning. I think, if I don't address this correctly, maybe you can, they have the bike racks here, but you can also, for additional fee, drop it off someplace else. And so you don't have to go back to the bike rack, so if you take the bike and go somewhere, you can lock it up on another bike rack where it will get retrieved from there, so that you can go from point to point, which is pretty exciting. So, I'm very excited can't wait, any tentative date when they may come in?
Yeah, that's quite all right. Yeah, we'll look to.
You wanna come to the mic,
Okay.
actually?
Yes, please, of course, thank you. Hi, Jonathan Keys with Suffolk County Economic Development and Planning. We will look to implement as soon as possible. We actually just launched our system on Sunday in 3 communities further west. So we're ready to, to get rolling, and we'll work out the details as soon as possible.
Okay, very good.
Great.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that resolution is adopted.
It is.
Resolution 703.
This authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement authorizing the town to accept funds from Suffolk County Office for the Aging for the purpose of supplementing the town's nutrition program for the elderly. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
I'm excited that we're getting more funding for Meals on Wheels. I vote yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes, and this is also great news because we've had a waiting list for our Meals on Wheels, so this will help to exhaust that waiting list so that we can be able to provide meals on a daily basis during the week. So yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 704.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement with North Fork Animal Welfare League. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
You're doing a great job, yes.
Wooten.
Best thing we ever did, yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 705.
Yeah, you're gonna wait a minute, here we go. Authorizes Total Technology Solutions to host proof of concept Never Fail workspace for Town Information Technology Department. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes, and we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Wooten.
That's been a long time coming. Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 706.
Authorizes the removal of fixed assets. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 707.
This authorizes the town clerk to publish and post public notice to consider a local law to amend chapter 301 entitled Zoning and Land Development of the Riverhead Town Code, specifically seaplanes and amphibious aircraft prohibition. Prohibition. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Well, as the liaison to the helicopter task force, I'm very pleased to move forward with this. We have a great group, and I'm glad that we're being proactive in this move. I vote yes.
Hubbard.
Absolutely yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes to the public hearing.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 708.
Authorization to publish advertisement for printing of recreation brochures for the town of Riverhead. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 709.
Authorizes town clerk to post and publish the attached notice to bidders for the removal of household hazardous waste. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 710.
Awards bid for collection and recycling of electronic waste. So moved.
A second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 711.
711 awards bid for the town of Riverhead Reeves Beach precast concrete restroom furnish and deliver. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 712.
Shortly.
Classifies site plan and special permit application for 331 East Main Street as a type 1 action pursuant to SECRA and circulates request for the town board of the town of Riverhead to assume lead agency status for the purposes of coordinated SECRA review. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 713.
Authorizes bow hunting for deer on town property at Enterprise Park at Calverton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-135-1-7.33 et al. Also 1751 Sound Avenue, Calverton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-60-1-2. Also Middle Road, Riverhead, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-80-2-10.1. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 714.
Terminates license agreement with D. Muma for concession at Grangeville Park. So moved.
A second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
I thank Dee for putting some money into it many years ago, but there are people that wanna use it, so it hasn't been used, I don't think, to its fullest extent, so I'll vote yes.
Wooten.
Yes, we thank Dave, but I vote yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 715.
Resolution authorizing the supervisor to send 30-day notice under stipulation with Baiting Hollow Farms LLC and Baiting Hollow Farm Vineyard LLC. So moved.
A second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 716.
Order establishing extension to Riverhead Sewer District to serve 1716 Old Country Road, Riverhead, the former miniature golf and recreational facility. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 717.
Order establishing extension of sewer main for Riverhead Sewer District to serve 1133 Old Country Road, Riverhead. That's the former Sergeant's Recreation Center and adjacent former Blockbuster Video Facility. Suffolk County Tax Number 0600-108-4, 6.4, 6.6, and 7. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 718.
Ratifies authorization for the supervisor to execute a contract addendum with the Water District Superintendent. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 719.
719 is a motion to pay the bills. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
All right, that's the end of the resolutions. At this time, I ask anybody from the audience that would like to come up and comment on any matters to come forward.
Hello, Supervisor and council members. James Sorny, it's C-S-O-R-N-Y, 18 Oak Street in Wading River. I'm here again before you guys, as I have been here many times with my neighbors. Can I pass this up to the member? Please.
Is there copies from?
I believe.
I think you, yeah. I'll give one back to you when I get.
Thank you. Oops.
Want to have their copy?
Yes.
So this is an address in Wading River, it's 224 Creek Road. I've emailed everyone but the supervisor, because I don't have the supervisor's email. Most of this information, some of it I added later on. So what it shows you is 24 different vehicles in about 2 months at this address, which I believe are illegal rentals. I've also notified your code enforcement. So this has been going on now for just about 5 years. And you guys haven't resolved a damn thing. Honestly, how you let this go on is beyond me. Mrs. Smith, actually, you're the police commissioner of this town, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And I assume you're getting this information?
No, I just received this from you now.
Okay, so code enforcement has not let you know at all that you have a problem at this address?
They do have code enforcement meetings every other week, and it's also on the IPS system, all code complaints.
So was the supervisor informed of that then?
I'm
She's
not-
in those meetings.
Yes, but we don't necessarily discuss a particular address at the meeting. That's what I'm saying, this is the first that I'm seeing of this particular address.
Okay, and how about Mrs. Kent? Are you the liaison to the code enforcement, is that correct?
No, that would be.
No, I'm not the
That would be
liaison.
Jody.
So, since the new administration came in, which was January of 2018, I have not been invited to any code enforcement committee meetings, and I believe that the supervisor, Ms. Kent, has been attending those meetings on a bi-weekly basis, so I am not privy to the information that comes out of those meetings.
Okay, so Ms. Kent, have you been aware of this from these meetings?
I've actually never seen this address.
And Ms. Kent doesn't.
You've never seen this address, I've emailed it to you, do you get your emails?
Yes.
Okay, so you're telling me you've never seen this then, before?
Mr. Sony, do you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question, I wanna know when you guys are gonna resolve this problem.
Well, as I said, we just received this information, so I will bring it up to code
No,
enforcement
you haven't
to
just
review
received
with
this, don't misinform the public about this while I'm standing here. I've sent this information to every town board member except you, cause I don't have your email.
Right, so that's what I'm
So Ms.
saying.
Kent has had this information, don't tell me they just got this information, that's incorrect. What I wanna know is, when are you guys gonna solve this problem?
I do not know what has transpired at this address, or I checked with code enforcement, because you're just presenting this question to me, so I cannot answer the question till I go back to the code enforcement officers and find out what has happened or transpired at that address to date.
Okay?
I certainly do take this seriously, I certainly will look into it with this address and find out what's going on.
It's embarrassing for you guys. This is embarrassing. In 5 years, you can't enforce the laws of this town on these. I mean, these people rent like 6 or 7 homes there. They live at 2 Oak Street, and they have a accessory apartment there that they rent, and they don't even live there. They actually live in, I'm not sure if it's Holbrook or Four Mangolia Court in Holbrook or Holtzville. And it's like, at what point are you guys gonna enforce the law?
Mr. Cerny, I've just gotten this information, so I'm not
I know.
gonna answer questions
Okay,
that
okay.
I haven't had a chance to review.
Okay,
Certainly, once have a chance to review, certainly can
This is
sit
the
down with you.
second or third time that I've been here, so this is not the first time you're getting this information. This is just
This-
additional information I'm giving you. And I mean, this is absolutely, you guys gotta be embarrassed, or you're not, or you just don't care.
Well,
But
I have responded to your phone calls, and
You
I have
have.
also
You have, Joey.
forwarded your emails to code enforcement and to the town attorney and asked them to investigate it, and as far as I knew, that was happening.
Okay, and I know you guys can't comment on ongoing litigation, but I assume you can comment and let me know, are you still in litigation with this people at these addresses, 224 Creek Road and 2 Oak Street?
The litigation is still ongoing, yes.
Okay.
The Supreme Court action,
Okay.
yes.
A lot more going on, you know.
Okay, so how would I expect you to get back to me then, Ms. Smith?
Well, as soon as I have a chance, I can talk to code enforcement tomorrow, find out what's going on, I can give you a call back. If you'd like to give your information to the town clerk, I can contact you.
Okay, I appreciate that. I mean, if you guys look at this, I assume any intelligent person would realize that you can't have 24 different license plates in less than 2 months and assume that those people are renting for 29 days or less. I assume they don't have 29 different friends, or 24 different friends, and that's only what I gather. I mean, I don't go there every day and look at it, but, you know, this
Well,
isn't.
I mean, thank you for providing the information, but I can't answer any of these questions because I don't know any of the details. So until we can speak to them, I can't really
Okay, I'll wait
comment
for
on
you to
it.
get back to me then. I'll leave my information with you.
Okay, very good, thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to present to the board? Seeing nobody, can I have a first and second to close the meeting? Second? All in favor? Opposed? So carried.
Listen, wait till October.
Well, I can't comment if you and Catherine are both there.
Catherine doesn't come to code enforcement.
Nobody notifies me of the code enforcement meetings, Laura.